We're going. All right. Tick tock, tick tock. Wait for the delay to catch up and see what we get here. Do, 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 do. Here comes my screen. There's me. Okay. I can see me. Can anybody else see me or hear me? Maybe. Lorna says 5x5. And Nest Peeper says Paul. Okay, cool. All right. So you guys can hear me. Well, guys, welcome to 3 o'clock in the morning, Kiev time, 4 o'clock in the morning, Lugansk time. According to the CIA, the bombs should start dropping right about now. So if anybody's watching any of the news channels and suddenly some bombs start falling, let me know. But otherwise, I'm figuring everybody's probably sleeping pretty peacefully. And of course, we get all the crap coming out. Biden must have missed everything today because even this afternoon he was still talking about war is imminent. Even after 12 hours earlier, it was on Euronews around the world. Photos and film of tanks getting loaded onto train cars and people backing out and everything like that. So yeah, so good news. So at least we got rid of that. But of course, like I told you this afternoon, we have, uh, Air Trudeau up there, Sig Heil. But we'll see what happens for all our Canadian friends up there getting tortured. There was an interesting story that came out when this evening a reporter had asked Trudeau about leaders he admired and countries he admired. And he said he admired China because their dictatorship would help turn their economy around fast. That doesn't tell you everything you need to know. I don't know what does, but yeah, that's his ambition. He wants to be supreme leader or something like that. But, maybe you should go down, take over Cuba, keep it in the family. Who knows? But that's pretty much the excitement going on. You guys all know the rest of it. If you saw what my videos today, we're good to go. Around here, it's just been the normal busy. Got the rest of my peppers and the rest of my peas planted in the last 2 days, so those are all done. And then was out laying more brick today because it finally got up to 60 degrees, so that was kind of nice. Patrick and Warrior Cheryl Ann, thank you both for the contributions and via Super Chat there. Do appreciate it. But yeah, so it's just trying to take advantage of the warm weather while we have it. It's supposed to be in the low 60s all week this week, so I'm getting a chance to get some stuff done outside before planting season starts, but at least seeds are going. So kind of interesting cruising around the web and around YouTube and watching some of the other channels, just seeing what the conversations are. And it's kind of interesting how many people are still strung up on Ukraine, Russia, or whatever. And then there's plenty of channels who are, okay, let's get on with real life here again. Control what we can control, not worry about what we can't. But like I said in the second video today, this is not time to sit back and go, hey, gee, you know what? Okay, nothing's going on. Russia, Ukraine was just one thing. China, Taiwan's still out there. Iran is still out there. The southern border is still out there. The economy still sucks. Crime is still way up, and Biden's still president. So, there's 6 for 6 and disasters going on in the country right now. But, all right, so that's it. I don't want to ramble on. I want to talk with you guys a little more this evening, so we'll go from there. Y'all know the rules, okay? Nothing about the election of 2020, nothing about climate change, nothing about FJB or LGB or anything like that. Okay, keep it clean. We try to keep everything in here PG-13. Okay, you guys been around here hear me say this all the time. Your teenagers are gonna have heard the language I use occasionally, your 6-year-old probably shouldn't. So there's your disclaimer for who should be in the room as you're listening. But just want to keep it relatively clean. Again, feel free to have conversations amongst yourselves, but no being rude, no being obnoxious, no name calling. I got some of the best moderators out there in this chat between Jacob, Robert, Lorna, Lucky Dame, and North Shore, and they don't take any crap. And so if you want to be an ass, don't plan on doing it a second time because they will boot you before I even see it. So that's a good thing. As per normal, pretty much standard fare on YouTube. If you got questions for me, please put them in all caps. I'm watching on the computer screen right below me here so I can see what you guys are asking. But like I say all the time, I don't have all the answers, okay? Never profess to, never going to say I do. But somebody in here inevitably does. So if you have questions that I can't answer, pay attention to the chat. Maybe somebody else has got an answer for you or a different answer. I mean, again, I don't expect everybody to agree with me all the time. Sometimes yes, sometimes no, okay? I try to give you the best information I have, but somebody may have a better idea. Okay, please take that. All right, so that was that. The only other thing I wanted to touch on before we get started are the seed exchange boxes. I can at least speak for the two I have that I sent out because I've got spreadsheets on knowing where to go. Guys, if you have received the seed box, please, if you haven't, please don't email me. There's too many people. But when you receive the seed box, please send me an email saying I've received it and it's going on. Excuse me, last I knew, both boxes of mine have made it into Florida. Last I heard on the second box, it was in Venice, and the first box was in Weeki So we'll see where they go from there. There's a couple more people in each box going Florida, and then it heads to Alabama, and then it starts heading north up to Mississippi. So when you receive it, guys, please let me know it's moving, and we'll get it up north. But it seems like the people up north will probably get it in time, and the people coming back down the East Coast at the very end, maybe, I don't know. There's not much on the East Coast, so we covered that early. So cross our fingers. It's not going to get to everybody for planting season. I'm sorry. I hoped it would, but there's been some people that sat on it too long, and nothing I can do about that. Scrap Metal Racing, thank you for the super sticker. Do appreciate it. So, all right, let us get into the chat here. As you guys know, I start at the top, go all the way down to the bottom. I don't skip over anybody unless, of course, it is one of the voodoo subjects that we can't talk about. But if you don't hear your question answered, please put it in again. If I see it a second time, I'll certainly skip over it. But I get way behind you guys because right now there's 800 of you in here and there's one of me. So let me get to the top and we will see what y'all want to talk about tonight. So, all right. Lorna, the only bombs going off will be people eating Taco Bell. Okay. I'm not even eating at Taco Bell anyway. Last time I went there, it was like $20 for the two of us to have lunch. I'm like, this is it. You look at a bean burrito, it's about this big. I'm like, are you kidding me? Forget it. Or a burrito supreme. That was what Mrs. P got. It was tiny. Kim, how are the squad going to get voted out? Are they really popular among their constituents? Well, you got to understand, yes, they are popular amongst their constituents. Ilhan Omar is remember, Obama had moved a ton of Somali refugees into Minneapolis. And so she is a Somali refugee, so she's one of theirs, if you will. People can relate to her. There is another Somali refugee who is running against her in November. So we'll see what happens there. Then you look at Rashida Tlaib. Rashida Tlaib is Congresswoman in Dearborn, Michigan. That has a very Arab population there. So again, people can relate to her. AOC, well, okay, she's an idiot. Her constituents are a bunch of idiots. So, I mean, I'm sorry, but there was an interview with her uh, today where somebody asked her if she fears that the United States may not be a democracy in 10 years. And she said, yes, we might not be a democracy. We'll be a pseudo democracy. People pretend we're still a democracy, but there will just be a ruling class and that will be it. And I'm thinking to myself, hey, dumbass, that's what we have right now. Okay. We're trying to get rid of all those people like you and go back to being a constitutional republic where we actually vote for everybody. Okay. Uh, yes, democracy is not dead, but it'd be nice if a congresswoman knew that we weren't a democracy. God, uh, that's the kind of education I guess you get at Boston College or Boston University or whichever school she went to. Montana Grizz fan. I hate the propaganda pushing for a war, just like in 1980, the media pushed for war with Spain. I agree. Okay, and like I said this morning, China nailed it. They said the same thing I did. The only reason Biden wants a war is basically because it would improve the U.S. economy at the expense of the rest of the world. That's not a leader. Okay, it sickens me the mental midgets that we have technically running countries at this point and their thought process. And I mean, it makes no sense. Yeah, let's destroy Europe so I can say, gee, I had the economy got better under my presidency. You want to talk about being a narcissist. There you go. Vester Dillon, yes, we are doing well. Tired. Montana Grizz fans. I was going to say, what war in Spain in 1980s, 1890s? Gotcha. Yeah, okay. That makes more sense. I'm like, there's something I don't know about. Warrior Cheryl Ann, thank you for always telling the truth and not bullcrapping us. This is the thing, guys. Okay. I've said many times, we have enough real stuff to worry about. Utility bills up 50%, food price up 50%. Gasoline price up 30%, if not 50%. We've got real things to worry about. People not being able to go back to work because of these idiotic mandates. We don't need to be panicking or be panicked by irresponsible journalists out there telling us, war with Ukraine is inevitable, because something else is going to happen. Now that this is blowing up in Joe's face, what's going to be next? Is the media going to start prancing around in a couple of days? I'll bet it's after the 20th, saying, oh, war with Taiwan is inevitable. Okay, that'll be the next thing. I mean, and again, it's the media, it's YouTube, it's Twitter, it's everything. People are so click happy. That's all they want. It's like, oh my God, maybe my video will go viral, so I'll make up something. Okay. It's amazing. You look at anybody in life, in anything, you want to be in business, you're dating, whatever it would be. You lie enough and nobody's going to ever believe you, and you completely destroy your reputation. Tell the truth, as hard as it may be for people to listen to. Maybe it's not flashy or whatever it is, but at least you told the truth. Honesty is the best policy. And, I'm sorry, I'm not here for drama. I'm not here for clicks. I'm not here for lies. I'm here to help maybe educate a little bit, for myself to get educated, to learn some stuff, for the fellowship, for the camaraderie that we all have in trying to navigate our way through this insane world right now. And I do appreciate you saying that very much so, because that is absolutely what I try to do. I'm not going to try to bullshit anybody. You know, I want to try to help as best I can in any way I can, just to make people's lives a teeny tiny little bit better. Judy Jackson, thank you for the super chat. Uh, uh, Start your day out with you in the morning, then all day long take great pride in showing my husband how right your comments are 2 to 3 days a week later in the other media. I I joke about that sometime because I'll turn on Fox or whatever it is, watch Tucker's opening monologue or Jesse Waters or something like that. And it'd be like 2 or 3 days later. And I'm like, that's exactly what I was saying 2 days ago or a week ago. And I'm wondering, are the folks over at Fox sitting or watching my videos going, hey, here's an idea? It's just, I know it's not true, but it's just kind of funny. It's like, when the media is behind YouTube, that gets scary because I don't have a team of people working with me and all the connections and all this sort of stuff. I'm just looking around, analyzing, putting pieces of the puzzle together, like I always say. All right. Kim, the press are giving Hillary a free pass. Yeah, Durham report was kind of interesting, huh? Did you love the thing today when a reporter asked Hillary specifically, did you spy on Donald Trump? And she's like, just put her hand up. It's like, yeah, lady, we all know you did. Okay, we've been telling you that for 5 years. Okay, you're finally caught. So, one of these days she'll be in an orange jumpsuit, and then it'll be like the world's biggest block party. Let's see. You guys going over the rules. No one. How do I avoid thermal cameras? No clue. Not a single bit of clue. I don't even know if you could. I mean, wrap yourself in ice. I have no idea. Empress Kimberly, what are the chances of our government learning the Canadian trick of freezing bank accounts? Okay, I can't speak for the laws in Canada because I just don't know them. Okay, I'm not a lawyer, nothing of the sort. I've seen this where the government wants the banks to freeze accounts for anybody who's been donating to the convoy or something like that, or however that's going to go work. Now, your bank account can get frozen here too. Okay, the IRS can put it. If you need a court order, okay, but how that all is going to go down. It's not just like the bank can say, gee, what we were told by the government to freeze all accounts, and it doesn't work that way in the United States. Okay, you have to have a court order to do it. But then again, we all saw how good the FISA court works, so who knows how that is. Let's just hope it doesn't happen. But again, like I've said many, 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 many times, make sure you have about, as if you can, 6 months worth of all your bills in cash at home. John Shield, hey, and good evening. Great to see you. Same here. Glad to see you joining us tonight. Well, let's see. Don Glossinger, yes, no one knows everything. That's why we have communities to help each other. Exactly. Okay. That's why we all get here. That's why you guys put up with looking at this ugly mug, a couple of times a day or whatever it is. Maybe you learn something. It's why I read all the comments, because a lot of times I learn something, so very good. I mean, even yesterday with my hot water heater and stuff like that, you guys are saying, oh, it's the heating element, it's the thermostat, you can replace this, replace that. I'm like, well, shit, that's all. That's the entire guts of it. And it turned out to be a heating element. It pulled the thing out and it was nasty, and put a new one in. And guess what? A couple hours later, I had hot water. Hey, what do you know? So, Sarah Harb, do I have a bunker? No. I have a crawl space under my house, but that ain't going to serve for anything. No, I mean, if nuclear war happens, I'm, a vapor trail somewhere. Not going to worry about that. It's, you see all the stories, these people building bunkers or burying shipping containers in their backyards and stuff like that. Again, you go back to the 50s or whatever it is, and people were doing that. But it's one of those things where I don't think that's something I'd want to survive. If the world was, if we had nuclear winter, okay, I don't want to be stuck in a box underground for 90 days or whatever it is till it might be safe to go out and then come back and the world is just charred radioactive disaster. You know what? If it gets that point, fine. Fry me. I hope it hits close and I don't suffer. That's it. So, you know, there's a point where I think everybody gets to, and it's like, okay, I'm good here. I'm good here. I'm good here. I'm good here. But you know, I draw the line at nuclear fallout. Uh, Seth Holloway, what are my thoughts on buying fractional platinum, gold, and silver? Okay, so I did a video on this a couple of weeks ago, talking about it. You really have to take a look at the fractional silver. No, okay. I mean, an ounce of silver right now is costing you about $23. Okay, it's not that expensive. I mean, it's a case of beer. Fractional gold, sure. I don't get into platinum. I don't own any of it. Don't plan on it, whatever. But platinum's expensive too. I could see it. Yeah, the video I did was the one I was talking about, Gold X. That's what it was. I could see buying fractional gold, fractional platinum, but what you've got to check when you're doing that is how much you're actually paying. And well, gold is right now around $18.50 an ounce. And so when you're buying some of these fractional pieces, now all of a sudden if you extrapolate the price out, you're paying $2,600, $2,700, $2,800 an ounce. If you bought, I don't know, 10 1/10 ounce pieces or something like that, then it's not worth it. I mean, I'm still a believer in you buy 1 ounce pieces of gold, 1 ounce pieces of silver, and junk silver, and those are it. Okay, so you've got your big dollar ticket, something. You've got your bills. Okay, the silver, it's $20-ish bill. Okay, and your junk silver is your change, and I mean that's my plan. Somebody else could think differently, but I don't see the value in buying fractional silver at all. Fractional gold, maybe, depending on the price. But again, if you're gonna, by the time you're done, if it's gonna be $2,600 an ounce, I mean, you need a 30% return on gold from here just to be at break even. That's not a good investment to me. And shot to the bottom, back to the top we go. Okay. Sajak, oh, it just reminded me, my mom just got her electric bill here in Virginia. It is $472. God, it's $242 more than it was last month. She's devastated. Now, I'm guessing a lot of that is rate hikes. If the weather's colder, the furnace is moving more, and I mean, everybody can say, well, I'm on gas heat. Yeah, but your blower still works on electricity, whatever it would be. But yeah, I mean, when you're talking almost double, yeah, that's the choke here real quick. And I'm hearing a lot of that from people, that their electric bills have gone way up. I should be getting mine in the next day or two. No, listen, you know what? Let me see if it's online real quick. Let's see what mine did. Now we're primarily hydroelectric power here, so let's see what my bill is. But usually my bill runs me about 120 to 140. So let's see. Come on, computer. Real exciting live stream. What's pinball? Yeah, $253.21. Yeah, so my bill doubled too. Okay, Thanks. Just, it'll be an interesting conversation tonight. Mrs. P not going to be happy about that one. It's the highest electric bill I've ever had since I've been in this house. That's for sure. I've never been over $200. Wolfsbane Hollow, any news on Prepping Preacher? No, I don't even know who Prepping Preacher is, so I don't know what's going on. East Tennessee, are you hosting a get-together this year? I enjoyed it last year. Again, if we do it, it's going to be in the fall again, and we've got 8 months. I mean, if depending on what's going on, that'll be something we'll figure out end of summer, August, somewhere thereabouts to do it. Way too many variables could happen between now and fall. HJS video, would you be concerned about eating foods that say contains bioengineered food ingredients? Absolutely. Okay. I am not one of these people that buys into the whole organic food craze. Okay. I think you guys have all heard, I swear to God, there's, a guy opens up a box of bananas in the back and has a handful of stickers that says organic, and he slaps those on half and those on this, and he goes, these are 79 cents a pound and these are 49 cents a pound, and they all came out of the same box. Okay. There's pretty much no way I'm going to tell being out in the store whether something's organic or not. And the stores know that. Okay. Does it happen all the time? No. Does it happen? I pretty much bet it does. Okay. Gee, we're short on organic bananas. Take some of those and put the stickers on them. Okay. But as for the bioengineered stuff, sure. We all know that we eat GMO food. Okay. They're pretty much, I mean, anything that you're buying from the store is pretty much GMO somehow. But this bioengineered crap, here's your soy burger, here's your, the whatever. I know, okay? If it says on the box that it's bioengineered and I can avoid it, that's fine. If somebody else wants to eat chameleon burgers, let them, okay? Or caterpillars or whatever the hell it is, that's fine. But if I see, made from fresh caterpillars, no. But if you don't tell me, oh yeah, I'll come unglued. Big time. But yeah, we really need to start looking at the packaging and reading the small print on the stuff that we buy, because they're trying to sneak a lot of that past us. Dottie, it's good to have a like-minded community. Absolutely. Because, there's too many non-like-minded people that we deal with in the real world all day, and we just shake our heads. Think of, every other person you meet out there is a Karen. You go, I just want to have a conversation with somebody who's sane, who thinks like I do. And it's nice to have this kind of get together, I guess you will, or gathering where we all can, okay, let's talk about something we all have in common, and again, you think about it, your friends are all people that you have something in common with. If you don't have anything in common with somebody, I doubt they're your friend. So, Montana Grizz fan, this administration, its fellow travelers in the press, is the boy who called wolf. Just wait till a real wolf shows up and no one will believe them. Yeah. I mean, and here's a perfect example. I told you guys this morning, it's funny because somebody told me they had told other people and they didn't believe them. But on Zelensky telling Biden, hey, you need to come here. Your presence here may stave off any sort of invasion. And Zelensky was completely playing with Biden, okay? Because Zelensky said over and over and over again, Ukraine didn't see anything. Well, the Biden administration came out today and said they have no plans to go to Ukraine. So basically, our potato in chief has just basically thumbed his nose at the guy, at the country he's been badgering for 4 months about, oh my God, you're going to war. And when somebody comes up with a solution, how he may be able to stop it, nah, where's the pudding? So, Mama Bear, what food are you stocked up on the most? I mean, proteins, yes, because I mean my freezers are full of meat, nothing else. And then I've got canned beef, canned chicken, canned ham, corned beef hash, well, we canned our own pork. Uh God, what else is up there? Ravioli, tuna, salmon. No, I'm sorry, mackerel, no salmon. Uh, so proteins are what I've stocked up the most on for the simple reason is it's one thing that I can't grow. Uh, no, that's not one thing. There's many things I can't grow. But vegetables and stuff like that, sure, I have canned vegetables, but no, that we've canned and that I've bought, but nowhere near as much as I have in the way of meat. So I've said from the beginning, my idea of a full prepper pantry is something where I can get by for at least a year because that gets me to next harvest season. So if I can keep replenishing that way, great. Now I'm not going to be able to replenish meat because I'm not growing it, okay? But that will come into exchange, barter, fishing, hunting, whatever would be something like that. But like everybody else, you only have so much space, and so much money. None of us have a 30-year supply of food in our house. You don't have the room for it. You don't have the money for it. And God knows you can't eat it. So, you're going to be throwing away more food if you do. So protein would be my answer on that one. Positive catitude. Thank you for not being a sensationalist. I'm a realist what you guys see is who I am in real life. Okay. And if any of you guys that were here, that met me at the Knoxville get together or Two Lady Homesteaders or Mountaintop Preps, what you see on this is me. This is no false facade or anything like that. This is exactly who I am in real life. I'm not a sensationalist. I'm a realist, and I like to solve the problem. I see a problem, I look at it, I analyze it, and I go, okay, how can I best circumnavigate the issue so it doesn't affect me that badly? Kevin Grip, why is it there always a few days on? I don't understand the question. Why is it that there are always a few days on only certain material? You're going to have to give me a little more context. I don't understand. Angry Homesteader. Yeah, what Trump told the truth, they can't handle the truth. Yeah, go back to the Leslie Stahl interview on 60 Minutes a couple of years back when she would not, she kept on insisting that the Clintons had nothing to do with the whole dossier thing and everything. And Trump said, yes, they do. It's fact. No, it's not fact. I have all the facts. It's not fact. You might want to take that foot out of your mouth, lady, because your name is mud at the moment. Wolfsbane Howl. These days, the only real news is the blue collar YouTube news. Yeah, you're spot on correct on that one because we're the only ones that understand the kitchen table issues. Some guy who's, running Kellogg's or, the CEO of a bank somewhere or whatever, and eating their caviar and lobster for dinner here on a Tuesday night, they don't have any concept of what you and me and everybody else watching this channel goes through. It's like, okay, what's the budget look like for going grocery shopping this week? What's the electric bill? Yeah, thanks for having me do that. You know, they don't have that concept. They don't go to the politicians. "Well, I don't know that gas prices have gone up. It's because you haven't driven a car in 20 years. Your chauffeur goes and fills the car up. You get a bill at the end of the month saying you owe the chauffeur company $3,400 or whatever the hell it is, and you pay it, and that's it. You don't itemize. That's what gas is. Your secretary probably pays the bill anyway. And any one of these politicians talking about knowing what grocery prices are, get bent. Okay. They go out to dinner every night. Some lobbyist is picking up the check for their dinner every night. Maybe they know what a latte costs at Starbucks. Maybe they go do that, but chances are they have an aide go get it for them. Oh, put it on your expense report. Yeah. Alan March, did I get my hot water heater fixed? What was wrong with it? Yes, got it fixed. It was the lower heating elements. When we pulled the thing out, it was literally bent and so caked with uh, calcium, limestone, whatever it would be. We've got very hard water. I'm on a well. Uh, and it just finally cracked, and that was that. So put a new element in it, and off and running we went. Let's see. Jennifer Jones, they closed Mike Lindell's bank account. Time to find a new bank. Yeah, I don't know anything about it, so I can't. I mean, I know who Mike Lindell is, my pillow, but I don't know anything about them closing this bank account. Beth Highfill, as far as bank goes, look at the bail-in option that got put into big banks in 2010. I've talked about bail-ins many, 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 many times. Bail-ins only go into effect for any money that you have in the bank over $250,000. Anything under that is covered by FDIC insurance. Okay. So you don't have to worry about it unless you have more than $250,000 in a bank account or in a bank. Okay. And if you have more than $250,000 in a bank, why? You need to go put that money in another bank. Okay. Keep 200,000 in one bank, go open up another bank account. That's it. Okay. But yeah, bail-ins are an option, but they aren't going to affect you and me. If we get to a point where bail-ins are going to affect you and me, where FDIC insurance is FUBAR, we got way bigger problems in this country than dollars. Okay. Charlie Tuna says leave very little in the bank. Yes. Again, and I'll say this right now. Some people are going to agree with me. Some people aren't. You have to keep something in the bank. If you got to pay income tax, you got to have that money in the bank. You got to pay your mortgage, you got to pay your bills, whatever it is. Especially if you're not working, you've got savings, whatever it would be. A lot of us pay our bills online, okay, or automatically debited from the bank account. The rest of your money you need to have somewhere else. And what Mrs. P and I are doing, and I'm not saying this for everybody, is we are putting the money into tangible goods that will make our life better or make our property worth more or something like that, or a combination of both. I mean, I've told you guys I'm going to put a pond in this summer. All right. So we're saving up for putting the pond in. That will make our property worth more because now you have a water feature on it. That will make our life better because now I can use that water to water the gardens, and that's going to be better than obviously be rainwater. It'd be better than well water. So we have that, and it also gives me the massive size of a water storage. Okay, that's a much better use of finances at this point than money in the bank. Now, sure, you still have to have money in the bank because you're still going to have an electric bill, whatever it would be. And as much as so many people see, I mean, there was a story out today, 68% of the United States believes we're going to be at war somewhere by the end of the year. Okay. That 2/3 of the country believes that we're going to be at war. Okay. Which means prices are going to go up on everything, which means scarcity is going to become a big issue. So it's one of those things. Get it. If you've got anything that you need to do, that will make your life better in an SHTF situation or life better in a non-SHTF situation, do it now if you can, not on credit. Okay. If you've got the extra cash and you're going, oh, I don't know what to do with the extra cash. My house is paid for, my cars are paid for, whatever it would be. Okay. Then what can you do to make your life better? Those are the things you look at. Hard assets, buying land, something like that. Though that is the best thing you can do with cash right now, because if the dollar goes topsy-turvy, which we all think it's going to, including Wall Street, uh, you know, if you have the material goods, that didn't suddenly go poof because the dollar went poof. Paladin One says, I see a bank run happening in Canada. If that happens, you're gonna watch for worldwide turmoil in the financial markets at that point. Because Canada's just like the US, the banks don't have all that cash sitting in a vault in the back for everybody to come clean their accounts out. So that will get very scary. Hugo Stiglitz. I love some of you guys' names. Do I have any pew-pews, and do you plan to bug out somewhere or staying put? Okay, I've done a video on some of the weapons I have. I have a rather large arsenal. Let's put it that way. And I've mentioned many times, my favorite sidearms, my favorite rifles, my favorite shotguns, whatever it would be. Okay. So yes, I have plenty there, but my plan is to stay put, for the simple reason is I live where most people want to bug out to. Okay. I'm out in the woods. Sure, there's other people that live around me. Same idea, get away. But I mean, I'm off 8 miles off the main road, with one way in and one way out. So, and, if anything goofy happens, a couple of trees come down real quick and there's no way in and no way out. So, if the Chinese come over the mountain, that's pretty much what it's going to take, is go over a mountain to get to me. I'm not worried about that too much. But yeah, no, my plan is to stay here and defend what I got till my dying breath. Like I said, the only two things that are going to chase me away is if the forest goes up on fire or the Chinese do go over the hill, and then I'll get the hell out of here and figure it out then. But no, I do not have a secondary location because that's not in our plans. Actually, the plans are for people to come here. Cindy Rice, the IRS can freeze. The IRS can freeze, can take it out, put it back when you get a lawyer, all in the same day. No court order needed. I've experienced. IRS is a different animal, sure, because the IRS gets it straight from the Department of Justice. Okay, but again, we're not talking about the IRS taking money here or whatever it is. This was the Canadian government and the banks saying they're going to freeze an account. Okay, that's a little different. Your bank cannot just go, you can't have any of your money. David Williams, you may consider yourself a regular guy, and you are, but you're a great leader bringing it all together. Well, thank you. Okay. I'm just trying to be helpful. I'm nobody special, guys. I'm just a guy who happens to have a YouTube channel. Montana Grizz fan, there are more than 1,100 people watching this live feed. We need everyone to hit the holy crap, there are 1,400 people in here. Okay. Kevin Grip, age plays a factor. No feel different. I now feel I don't. Age plays a factor. I'm saying I know I feel different now than I did when young. If I'm trying to read into it, whatever. Yeah, age plays a factor too. First off, as we get older, we realize we're not 10 feet tall and bulletproof. Okay. Because with age comes wisdom. When we were 20, hell, I'll go jump out of a moving car. No big deal. Now you look at it going, you nuts. So yeah, we trade false bravado for wisdom as we get older. Yarn Prepper, breaking news. Top CNN exec resigns as she and Jeff Zucker. Okay, so this is his little play thing. I guess she lived in the same apartment complex or whatever as he did. And, he's married and he's going downstairs for his little rendezvous. Okay, so she's out. Good. CNN is imploding. Good. I mean, it's funny, now Don Lemon's got to have a jury trial, and I mean, is there anybody at CNN who's not in trouble? All right. Looking on through. Yep, we go to the bottom, back up. Here we go again. Okay. Do. Space Girl, how does Hunter figure into this whole Ukraine Russia business? That's an excellent question that none of us know. Okay. Remember Burisma and the $11 million that he got and all this sort of stuff. Burisma being, gas company, and now the whole Nord Stream 2, bypassing. So interesting, but that part hasn't come out. It eventually will be, but you know, conspiracy theory is going to say, "Oh, Biden's trying to do this whole thing to cover up, get them to war so they can destroy the records of whatever Hunter did or whatever." Who knows? But somehow, somewhere, some way, it will come out. We'll figure it out. But by then, Joe will be dead, and Hunter will probably be in jail anyway. So, say, Jack, what kind of canned chicken, like tuna brands or some other brand? It doesn't matter to me. Okay. I'm not overly concerned, with, oh, I've got to buy Starkist tuna. Walmart tuna is fine for me. Doesn't make a lick of difference. Kroger brand or Food City brand canned chicken is fine with me. I'm not, or dollar store brand, or is it Clover Valley? I think it is fine with me, because in an SHTF scenario, you're not going to, nobody, if anybody comes up and goes, "Oh, you have dollar store chicken? I'm not eating that." Fine. More for me. Okay. It's literally, it's food, it's calories. That's it. Okay. Stuff that, let's put it this way. In an SHTF situation, if I'm hungry and somebody hands me a plate of okra, I'm eating it. Okay. I don't like okra, but I'll eat it because it's food. you know I'm not worried about wasting money on high dollar stuff. It's like, oh, I've got to stock only organic produce, and I do all my shopping at Whole Foods markets for my prep. It's a prep cabinet. Okay, it's for SHTF. It's like calories. That's your main goal. I don't care if they're cremettes macaroni or Joe's Macaroni Company macaroni. It doesn't matter to me. It's food. Uh, CB, did I see truckers pulling out excavators with wires cut, filters taken? Yeah, I saw them spraying spray foam insulation into the cabs of some of these things, everything like that. I get a kick out of the fact that the police are telling these guys to move their vehicles to let traffic through. And then once they get the vehicles out of the way, then they go and destroy them. There's, like I said earlier today, what's going to happen in Canada is this, my opinion, this is testing people's resolve. I mean, it all Trudeau and all this insane crap he's doing is making people hate him more, and they're going to fight back more. And it Canada's on a close, on the verge of civil war at this point. Uh, with some of the crap. I mean, you think about, you've got your big old Caterpillar bulldozer or whatever it is, and somebody goes in there and starts doing tens of $1,000s of damage to it. You're pissed, real pissed, so. Vester Dillon, my electric is between 50 and 60, but I live in a camper and use a 100-watt solar panel with, okay, so but even then, you're living in a camper using a solar panel and you're still paying 50 to 60 bucks. Is grass edible? Yes, but okay, if you're the reason I would avoid it, Do you put fertilizer on it? Do you put bug killer on it? Whatever it is. All those chemicals that you're putting on your lawn are in the grass. Okay. Uh, could you eat it? Yes. Okay. Like everybody else, my dogs will go out and eat grass. Okay. Tells me it's edible. Uh, but it's not, you're not talking about something that's going to be high in calories or tasty. You know, at that point, grow something, anything, grow microgreens or something like that. Take out a little patch of grass and grow something there. Put potatoes in the ground, or get a hay bale or straw bale, and plant some sweet potatoes on that little piece of grass. Do something. But if your idea for food is grass, please do something else. Rooster says CBS won't say much, if anything. I'm assuming you're talking about the Leslie Stahl deal. Yeah, of course not. They won't. Sarah Harb, do I think the convoy will ever come to an end? Sure, it will. I mean, eventually, because the government's going to try to push them out. And slowly but surely, people will disappear and say, "Okay, I've had enough of this. I'm going back home." But if the government pushes too hard, too fast, the truckers already said they're going on strike. And the American truckers said, if they go on strike, we're going to go with them. Okay. So, that's something else. Let that happen. Let the truckers say, we're not driving anymore. We're not going to sit in downtown Ottawa. We're just going to sit in our driveway. Okay. Now, what do? This is the thing. I mean, the truckers have the balls that most of the rest of the people in most countries don't. They're like, my livelihood is on the line here, but your life is on the line if you don't start listening to what I do. The truckers are telling everybody who's really in control, and it's them. North Shore Preparedness. Freedom! Oh, man, you better be careful being up in Canada. You know what CBC said today? That's, freedom is an alt-right term. Don't be saying that. The thought police might be coming get you, and you'll think you're a terrorist. Mary Miles, the pillow guy sent items to the Freedom Convoy. That's why. Okay, that's interesting. So who stopped his bank account? Because the Canadian government, as Give Send Go said, has no jurisdiction over laws over people in the United States. And Mike Lindell, if I'm not mistaken, lives in Minnesota. I'm assuming his bank account is in Minnesota. And last time I checked, Minnesota wasn't a province of Canada. So who authorized his bank account to be shut down for that? Can't be the Canadian government. So it somehow had to be the U.S. government. And if the U.S. government didn't do it, then if the bank did it on their own, then boy, does he have a lawsuit on his hand. Cindy Rice, Minnesota Bank and Trust told him to find another bank several weeks ago. He had multiple accounts worth a bunch. Oh, I believe that. Minnesota Bank and Trust told him to find another bank. Hey, you don't want my money? It's fine, no big deal. And the podium that he's got, I'd be real worried if I was Minnesota Bank and Trust, because, does he have his business account there? His payroll account there? I don't know. Personal accounts? You know what? You might be in a real world hurt if he comes up and goes, this is what happened to me from Minnesota Bank and Trust and why I'm leaving. Wonder how many people might follow. North Shore Preparedness. Who is the next target for war? Let's see. Let's see. The only other place that has any ties to the Bidens is China, but Biden gets too much money from China. Ukraine was the whole Hunter thing. If anything, I don't know, maybe he goes after Venezuela or something, because, now it'll be like, Russia's putting troops in Venezuela or something. We need to go in there and get rid of them or something. Who knows? I mean, Biden's sitting there with a game of, risk, going, what should I do? Where's the United States? That'd be Joe playing a game. Sarah Harb, apparently Canada is going to remove the mandates on March 1st. Okay, so I've heard a couple of them. I heard Doug Ford said the mandates are going to be lifted on March 1st, but the limits on restaurants and stuff like that is supposed to be over to Thursday. I forget, was it Saskatchewan who said they were going to do it too? There was another province that said they were going to lift them as well. I don't know if it's countrywide. It seems to be going province by province by province as to what each one of the ministers is doing. Sarah Harb, thoughts on Elon Musk? He's an interesting person to pay attention to. He's certainly not somebody I'd ever want to sit down and have a beer with. The guy's a couple cards short of a full deck, and you know, wonderful that he's a billionaire. Okay, but money doesn't make you smart. I mean, look at Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban's got God knows how much money, and the guy's got to be the dumbest person I've ever seen in my life. Well, I take it back. AOC still holds that title. Baby Fox, my folks bought a house in the 60s for $40,000. Today, a $200,000 house buys you a shack. Yes. Okay. However, you have to remember the other part. Okay. I can go back to the 1970s, and my folks bought a house probably for in the 20s somewhere for buying the house. But my dad was making $300 a week. Okay. So you look at, and I mean, this wasn't flipping burgers at McDonald's. I mean, he was working for American Motors at that point. And, so, you know, you've got to look at both sides of the picture. Yes, the houses were a lot cheaper, but the dollar would, you were making a lot less money. Okay. I'll go back to the 80s, when I first started driving, and I remember getting gas for 90 cents a gallon. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to say, okay, I can get gas, I remember it for 25 cents or whatever it would be. Okay. But I can remember 90 cents a gallon when I was 16. So 1982. Now you're looking at gas, and gas hasn't gone up nearly as much as everything else, but at least in my time frame, gas prices have nearly quadrupled. So now you look at the same scenario. If that $30,000 house quadrupled, sure, it's $120,000. Okay, this is where you have the issue of people's wages have not kept up with the cost of living for the last 20 years. I will agree. Depending on where you are, $200,000, San Francisco will buy you a shack. My house was $217,000. My house is not huge, but it's not a shack. And it's on 2 acres. So, if you look, I mean, I bought it in 2019, so it's not like, I bought the house 20 years ago or something like that. It was only 3 years ago. You look, you can find what you're looking for decent money. Did I have to, if you have to be within 10 minutes of a Starbucks, this isn't going to work for you. Okay. But those are decisions people have to make. But everybody tells me, oh, there's not housing out there for $200,000. I completely disagree. There's plenty of housing out there for $200,000. Your standards are just too high for what your income is. 858. Wow. John Zeckerly, I think they're distracting us from what's really about to happen. I wonder if part of it was the Durham report, but we know, the other parts of the economy, everything like that. I mean, if you saw PPI numbers today, PPI numbers came in at 0.8%. They were expected to come in at 0.5. So producer price came in 60% higher than they expected. Woohoo! Guess what that means, guys? Prices are still going up. Okay. All this talk about, inflation's probably over. Nope, still going up. Redneck Prepper, have lime water. Also use vinegar in your dishwasher. I will cut it. I will cut it. Also, the coffee maker. Yeah, that's how I clean my coffee maker. Yes, I know. But yes, good tip on the dishwasher as well. Sarah Harb, do I have food stocked up for my dog? Yes, I do. I've got about 4 cases of pedigree upstairs for him in cans. And then, as you guys know, I've made dog food here. I did a video on it a few weeks ago on how to make homemade dog food out of your preps. So yes, I have both. David Lee, buy a cargo container and bury it. That's yes, you can. The problem is you've got to have it reinforced because once you put the dirt back on, the top will cave in. So you've got to have welding done, reinforce it. You've also got to have a door cut into it. Then you've also got to have steps put to get down to it, et cetera, et cetera. You have to have a air vent put into it. So yeah, it's a little more than burying a box in the backyard. Bobby Church Peck, would you think it would be wise to purchase precious metals or more pew pew? Pew pew will be needed and it will be worth more. Depends on what you've got. Okay, again, remember the best person can only fire 2 guns at once. Okay, so having 60 doesn't do you any good. Depending, you've got to have different tools for different scenarios. That's what I've talked about in videos before. Okay, a shotgun in the house is, my opinion, a better self-defense weapon than an AR-15 in the house. My size house, AR-15 is going to be a hell of a lot better for being in my front yard, rather than the shotgun. So different tools for different things. Once you've got all those, spare parts for those is a good thing. But you need to have kind of a mix of both. Ammunition, I don't believe you can never have enough ammo, but you also have to be training with it because ammo will over time go bad. Long time, but it will. Sarah Harv, how long have I been gardening for? Oh my God, 20, 25 years. Something that, I've been gardening. God, when would I say I started? 96, 96 or 97. So almost 30 years. All right. Sorry. One more, and then I'll let you go because I know Jason's on. Healthy disrespect for authority. Fun question from left field. It's a perfect one. If I could have a superpower, what would it be? I'd be able to fly. No doubt. I would be able to fly. That would be it. I want to get out of here. Get me somewhere. I don't want to deal with all the idiots on driving anyway. That's why I say there'll never be flying cars. As much as everybody says, "Oh, we want to have flying cars and everything like that," never happen. People don't know how to drive safely in 2 dimensions. Certainly don't give them 3. Fender benders are now death. So yeah, if I had it, I'd be able to fly, but nobody else would. All right, guys, it is 9:02. I ran long. My apologies to Angry Prepper because I know he's probably going. Have a good Tuesday evening. We'll see you all in the morning. Pinball out.